I recently had the chance to play the beta of the newest MMO open world called New World. This game was actually created by Amazon, and I believe it will be their first title. Now, Jeff Bezos can spy on us even more. So take into consideration that this is beta footage, so things are likely to change somewhat before the final release of September 28th. And the best way I can describe this game is honestly like an upgraded and modern reinterpretation of a game like RuneScape. So it's set in a fantasy world called Eternum, which in Latin means eternal or forever. This land holds all sorts of magical monsters as well as regular animals like bison, turkey, and deer. I believe the game was inspired by 15th century weaponry, so the game focuses on weapons like axes, swords, and spears. But the game also has things like muskets, staves, and magical gauntlets. I'll first talk about the combat because that's all people really care about in a game like this. I honestly don't have too many complaints regarding combat. There's a basic light attack, heavy attack, and block for each weapon, and a different dodge style depending on your armor weight. Each different weapon class has its own ability as well. You're able to equip 3 different abilities at once for each weapon, and basically equip unlimited passive abilities as long as you have the points to unlock them. You unlock new weapon abilities simply by using a specific weapon type, which will give you XP, which translates into points, which then can be spent to unlock new abilities. The PvE within this game is honestly not really difficult unless you're fighting monsters that are way over leveled or bosses. You can honestly defeat most monsters fairly easily by utilizing your abilities and dodging and blocking at the right times. Now let's talk about the exciting part of the game, the PvP. So once you reach level 10 and you select a faction to side with, you unlock PvP content. Your alliance will assign you some PvP related quests which will reward you with faction standing XP, as well as tokens to unlock powerful armor and weapons. When you're inside a safe zone, which are essentially teleport locations or towns, you're able to enable or disable PvP. Meaning, if you enable PvP and you leave the safe zone, there's a 30-second timer, then anyone from different alliances can attack you no matter what activity you're doing, which makes the game so damn entertaining in my opinion. The random player PvP interactions that this game creates really makes this game. The most fun battles are the least expected ones. I've been out in the wilderness just farming iron ore, and I'll have a player run up on me and start beating the shit out of me. Those are the most fun fights. I'm gonna be dead honest, if it weren't for the PvP, I probably wouldn't have spent as much time as I did playing the beta. Just during the short beta weekend, I spent over 21 hours playing this game. That shows you how damn addictive this game can be. However, that being said, I feel like they have some serious balancing to do regarding open world PvP. There are no player limits from what I've seen. For example, at level 20, I was still able to fight level 11s, and honestly the game feels super one-sided when you're fighting players that are 10 levels below or above you. I think that if they implement a system where you can attack players, let's say 5 levels above or below your current level, it would make the game much more fair and less people would be afraid of enabling PvP. Because at the time I played, there was roughly, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10% of the people had PvP enabled, which made the PvP fights really rare. I'd maybe get 1 or 2 good PvP fights an hour. So now that that's out of the way, I have to mention questing. Honestly, in my opinion, it's just a means to an end. Maybe other people like the story, but for me it was just an excuse to travel around the map to collect resources while turning in quests. The main questline has you running around more than Frodo did in Lord of the Rings. It's kind of ridiculous the amount of walking around this game has because the fast travel costs a type of currency in game. So you won't always have the points for fast traveling, but it is nice since you'll get the chance to find rare materials on your travels. They honestly knew what they were doing when they designed the traveling mechanics in this game. They want you to gather and explore all the time, and it really is fun. So this brings us to crafting. I was pleasantly surprised as to how the crafting system works. For example, if you want new medium armor, you'll have to go out and hunt wolves and other animals to collect hides, which can be turned into various medium pieces of armor. Let's say you want to craft a new musket or a new spear. You'll have to find the ores in the wilderness, or if you want to bypass all the gathering and crafting, you can simply buy them on the player run market. While you're harvesting, You'll be passively leveling up your gathering skills, which will allow you to collect higher grade materials, which in turn allow you to make higher tier armor and weapons. Honestly, it's very similar to the RuneScape crafting system. It's fairly straightforward and very easy to catch on to. I hate overcomplicated crafting systems, and I'm glad New World got the crafting right. One last thing I have to mention regarding PvP. I didn't get to experience any wars or invasions simply because there is a limited amount of slots in a war, which is kind of unfortunate. I understand why though. I wasn't able to experience that side of PvP, but from what I've seen, it is very fun. So I'm looking forward to that when the full game releases. I really do have high hopes for this game, and hopefully when it fully releases, I'll have some New World content. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and as always, have an amazing day.